I've had a lot of people asking me how I design things. I use the StarCraft CREATE software because it allows me to export everything as an SVG file. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I came up with some baby shower ideas. First, I just did a Google search. I knew I wanted to do a baby shower theme with teddy bears. I also went on Pinterest and searched teddy bear baby shower. Now, this is just to get me some ideas. I'm going to use these ideas for my inspiration. You can also go on Etsy and see what's out there. I really like this phrase, "we can barely wait," and I think I'm going to use that in my design. Next, I went to Clip Art Library, and I want to find some cute teddy bear images I could use. I like to open them in a new tab so I can go and view them more easily. And then you can download the file. I'm going to go find a few options because when I get started, I don't really know for sure what I'm going to use and what's going to end up working the best. Also, just go to Google and type in teddy bear clip art free, and you can start to find some images there. I don't like to use images with a lot of shading. I try to find things that are just a black and white outline or have good solid colors in them. Those are much easier to work with. I found some teddy bear designs I like, but you never know which ones are going to be the best quality and come into the Create software the best, so that's why I like to have a few samples. I really like this first one, so that's the one I'm going to start with. I'm going to click on File and then Trace Image. Choose the image and go to the folder. Now I'm going to click on that teddy bear and bring him in. And you can see it's trying to find the white sections. That's because I have this mode set to single color and it says white. I can change it to monochrome. And now it's kind of picking up everything except for the white. One thing I'd like to do is use this show source image slider. And that's going to really turn off your image and show you what the cut lines are. So let's zoom in. So the green is basically picking up the image. The red is the cut lines or the outline of the cut lines. So I can look at it and determine, do I think it's crisp and clear? Or, there's a little bit of fuzziness, so I can adjust the smoothness. And then I can just update it. You can see that's a little smoother. I could change the contrast, and that might make things better. I could click despeckle and see what that does. It's all about kind of playing around with these settings. So every image is going to be different. There's no set, always use specific numbers. You got to play with it. It's all about the image you're using. That one looks good. So I'm going to click OK. That brought the teddy bear in. Now I want to make this teddy bear different colors. So how I'm going to do that is just click on him. I can either go to the top panel and choose Object, Break Apart, or I can right click on the teddy bear and use the Break Apart. So now it broke each of those pieces into its own section. And I can go in and change the colors of those different sections. So maybe I want this to be a really soft pink. Now I could pick this side and say match it to that. I feel like browns are hard. Oh, all right, did that one pretty good. So now I could pick this one And you can see when you hover over, you get the red outline. So that's showing you the cut piece. So now I can click on the dropper and click on the brown one. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to tweak things. I'm going to take the pink and actually make it brown because I have an idea. I click the arrow so I can select a section, then click the dropper and click the color I wanted. I'm going to make this kind of a neutral color. To me, teal is a good neutral. And I'm going to make this brown, but I want it to be a lighter brown. That is very yellow. That's not bad, actually. Once I have all those pieces how I want them, I'm going to use the file and save project. I'm going to expand the layers over here by clicking on this little arrow. And I can see all of these little pieces are individual pieces instead of being cut through the brown. So here's the brown piece. So if I turn off one of these black pieces, by just unchecking that, I can see those are going to be little tiny pieces it wants me to layer on top of the brown. I don't want that. I want to just be able to layer the whole brown piece over the top. So I am going to select, I'm going to hold my shift key so I can select more than one thing at a time. And by selecting these stitches and using path, union, I am making them one piece. Now I can hold my shift key and select that brown piece and use path. I want the back piece, which is the brown, minus the front pieces, which is the black. So now what that did, it made that one piece with little dashes cut inside of it. So let's do that same thing over here. Hold the shift key so you can select multiple things. I want all these little dashes. Now, if I didn't do this, it would cut the brown in that semicircle and then cut all those dashes, and I would have to place those little dash stitch lines individually. So by choosing union, I'm joining those stitches into one piece. And I'll show you. If I look at my layers panel and I find the union, you can see those little stitches. And if I turn that off, see how they're now one piece? So now I select that, hold my shift key and select the brown, and use path, back minus front, and now I just made that all one. So let's do that same thing with some of the other pieces. For example, this brown piece is one big circle, but I want all of these smaller pieces cut out of it. That's another color. And when you turn stuff off, you find other stuff. Okay, so if I turn off that one, I can see the yellow is a solid piece that I want the black cut out of. So shift key and pick both of those, path, back minus front. So now that's one piece that I can turn off. So now let's grab these three and use union, and now path, back minus front, and now that's the whole teddy bear face. These stitches would be another thing that I want to do that same process for. So path, union, if we look over at the layers panel now, It's really reduced the number of layers we have. I want to try something, but because I don't want to mess up the original teddy bear, I made a copy that I said put over to the side. Some people might not want their teddy bear to have a bow tie. So with this one, I'm going to try to take that bow tie out and close up this piece, and actually this piece too. I'm going to use my shape tool. And when I do that, I can click on some of these and I can remove those nodes. And the nodes are basically telling your cutting machine where to go for the cut. So by turning off some of those nodes, I'm saying, nope, don't cut there. So I'm trying to basically close up the top of this bear. Again, not sure if it's going to work and look right, but we're going to give it a try. So I want to close off some of these. I'm holding my shift key to select more than one node at a time. Could join the top to the bottom. And to do that, I'm going to turn off the black so I can really see things. I'm going to use my eraser tool and inverse it. So then if I do this, you see how it's putting a line in there? So I'm just kind of drawing these lines in kind of free-formy right now, but we'll make them better. So now if I use my selection key and take both of those pieces, I can join them together and then get rid of all of that. And let's smooth out some things over here. Now let's zoom out and turn the black back on. And that's kind of cute. Okay. I'm going to make another copy, but I'm going to keep it separated so that I have a couple different versions of this bear. I'm just doing a copy, paste. So this one, I'm going to keep the curve between the two pieces. So let's start with, first I have to ungroup so I can select the individual pieces. I'm going to get rid of the bow. Now I want to kind of keep that curve both here and here. So I could turn off the black so that I'm not messing with any of that. So I want something that's got a curve like this. So let's look through our different pieces. This might work. Basic shapes. This might work for the... Sometimes you just gotta try some things and see what works. If I felt like I could draw, I would just draw some of these things, but I don't. So I kind of look for shapes that can mimic what I want to do. For example, here I want to kind of fill in this curve. The reason I'm doing this curve instead of using a circle is I don't want to fill in any of this with a circle. So I want to use kind of a curved piece that isn't a full piece. So I really just want to curve this. This is actually kind of getting there. Okay. So if I use ungroup and I get rid of this and these, now I can just use this. And you see how this is gonna, whoops, I have smooth in and fill in that piece. And I can even use this, just kind of nudge it around. I moved the brown and I didn't want to. And made a copy of this to use down here. Okay, now we'll take the green piece, hold my shift key, grab the brown piece, path, union. And now I can use my shape tool to get rid of those inner pieces. Now I want to put this, nope, undo. There we go. All right, so now I want to kind of do a curve in there. So let's play with it again. I'm kind of liking where that is, but I only want it to go from here to here. So I want to trim off these portions. Okay, turn off the bear shape. And now I'm going to use my stencil bridge. And if I hold down my shift key, I can do straight lines. So now I can put that cut in there. Get rid of that part. Okay, let's turn the bear body back on. Okay, I need to trim it a little bit more. I'd rather trim it and then have to trim it more than trim too much off. So stencil bridge again. No, it's too much. Okay, let's undo. So I want to kind of figure out where I need to put that line. Right about there. Oh. I could take both of these and use union and then go path. No. Path. Back minus front. This needs to be trimmed just a little bit more. So I'll use the stencil bridge and just trim it like that. Okay, that's better. I can make all that work. So now if I grab this green piece and this brown piece and use union, it filled that in. And I can use the shape tool to get rid of these pieces. Now I'm going to zoom in here and kind of smooth that curve. So I can get rid of that node and that smooth that curve. And let's get rid of that node and smooth that curve. Turn that back on and the brown. All right, so guess what? I moved that piece, but not a big deal. If I select all of this and group it, now turn that bear on, I should be able to select all and use align centers. There we go. So now I have a bear that doesn't have a bow tie. So I've got options. So now you can see I have 3 different variations of my bear. One with the bow tie, one where his neck is connected, and one where there's a separation there. I think that's enough for this video. Then I'm going to do another video to see how I turn this into different baby shower ideas. Before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below.
I love to hear from you.